Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I am Nikolai Edwards. Let's take a look at the headlines. The OJT program now extends job opportunities to young people in the nation's airports. The Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training teams up with NASA to launch internships for nationals, and the Minister of Sport extends his condolences to the family of Kevin Carter as the nation mourns the loss of another soca warrior. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Top of the news. As the government continues to build upon its promise to reinvigorate the food and agriculture sector, another modern and updated market has been opened, this time in the southern community of Siparia.
Answering questions in a recent Senate sitting, Minister of Local Government, Senator the Honourable Marlene Coudray, describes the newly erected Siparia market located on SS Erin Road. She reveals the market, which was built by SIS contractors, can accommodate more than 150 vendors.
The Siparia market facility is located on the SS Erin Road on a site area of 47,226 square feet. The new Siparia market comprises of an area of 32,550 square feet was constructed. It is a two-story structure consisting of 170 vendor stalls and 10 fish and meat stalls on the ground floor. It houses 40 cubic meters of cold storage and an ice machine. The first floor consists of 10 vending stalls, a conference room, which can accommodate 300 persons dining style, a food court, and 2 administrative offices. The site accommodates 15 parking lots and 21 offloading bays for vendors.
Being conscious of the needs of the differently abled, Minister Coudray highlights that the newly constructed market has been fully outfitted to facilitate the differently abled.
The lift provides access for the differently abled and others from the ground floor to the first floor. Public conveniences, inclusive of facilities for the differently abled and others, are available on both floors.
Gregory McBurney, News 4.
The on-the-job training program, currently known as OJT, is expanding. OJT Airports has been launched, and the new program does exactly as its name suggests. It gives young unemployed persons the opportunity to work at this country's 2 airports.
Minister of Transport, the Honourable Stephen Cadiz, says Piarco International Airport will soon be transformed to keep on par with the evolution of airports around the world. He makes this bold claim as the new arm of OJT Airports, is launched at the Piarco International Airport. Addressing those gathered for the launch, Minister Cadiz says he is excited about the initiative as he knows it is integral to national development.
When Minister Karim came to me, and very recently, and he said, look, we need to be able to get our OJTs into various agencies and learning different skills pertaining to particular agencies and what have you. And we jumped at the opportunity one time because we understand how important and how critical the OJT program is. Of course, this program will not only be for Piarco Airport, but will also be in Tobago at the A&R Robinson International Airport.
Minister Cadiz is urging those accepted into the program to maximize the opportunities that are available.
Take an opportunity to understand aviation, to understand airports. All right, work with the people here. You're going to be exposed to all kinds of new skills, and all kinds of new interests are going to be sparked here at the airport. And I want us to think of it that way, that this is not just aircraft.
The Transport Minister says the opportunities to learn and gain experience at an airport is unimaginable, as airports are now evolving into more than just an airport.
Airport long ago used to be a place where a plane would land, passengers would get off, load back up passengers, and off they went again. But airports worldwide, for those of us who have traveled in different parts of the world, airports worldwide have changed substantially. And airports are now considered to be not only the aviation side, but also on the retail side. Airports have hotels attached to them, conference centers attached to them. Airports are places where that act as hubs in all different parts of the world. And we are looking at Piarco in particular also in our Robinson Airport, to be that hub for this part of the world.
Minister Cady says it is for this reason that change can soon be expected at least one of this country's airports.
What you're going to see is a brand new Piarco, not a new terminal building itself, but how we deal with the space at Piarco. How do we, the flow of people, how do passengers go in and out of Piarco? People who come to see their friends off, people who are coming to pick up their friends and family, how it all works. So you're going to see a transformed Piarco airport.
Minister Cady is pledging that the Ministry of Transport will continue to support the OJT program. He also hints that the program will soon expand to include jobs at the seaports, the water taxi, and the PTSC. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
Meanwhile, 27 students of the National Energy Skills Center Tobago graduated and are now equipped with the various skill sets which they would put to use throughout the length and breadth of the Twin Island. The graduates were urged to utilize the technology at their fingertips and to be prepared to continue their journey in their respective fields.
Every graduation ceremony hopes to be that special moment to celebrate one's achievement. To the graduates of the NESE Goldsboro, this achievement is also a moment to value their own personal sacrifices. Delivering remarks, President of NESE, Kern Das, told the NESE graduates of Tobago that they all have something very powerful in them, more powerful than the certificate they will be receiving.
So I ask you today to use that power for something larger than yourself. You are living at a time when technology is at your fingertips. Be prepared to continue your journey and embrace the new technologies in your respective fields.
He told them they must be prepared to continue to teach themselves since the learning process has only just begun.
It is very, very important that you teach yourself as you go out into the work field because there's a big disparity between what is wanted in the workplace and what is taught in the classrooms. Fortunate for us, the chairman and myself last week attended a Microsoft Higher Education Summit. And even in Microsoft, they showed where they had over 20,000 jobs worldwide. And they probably have over 400,000 IT graduates and nothing is meshing.
Chairman of NESE, Mr. Firaz Khan, was on hand to celebrate the success of the trainees who completed the program and prepared to take steps towards another stage in life. He said there are some challenges associated with the program, but is optimistic about plans for development in the near future.
We would have started this particular cycle with approximately 50-odd students. And today, we celebrate the graduation of 14 of them. 72% of those students who started did not consider it important or had circumstances in their lives that prevented them from completing the program. I know this is a matter that we have engaged Mr. Fraser a lot on and his staff, because the success of the students and their successful placement in industry is the motto of the NESE.
He says the challenge faced in Tobago was that they have not been able to get 100% successful students. He called on graduates to import whatever moral influences they have so that other students in need of the training will be inclined to stay in the course and ensure they graduate with a skill. Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, Senator Fazal Karim, delivering the feature address, says one of the things his ministry wants to ensure is that response training programs address the needs of the community.
We must engage in what you will remember and what you will affectionately know as you speak to your colleagues and your friends, as the labor market reports.
Joseph Lopez, News 4.
More news after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Discussions with the Association of Caribbean States continued, and the Permanent Secretariat of the Latin American and Economic System convened a meeting at the Secretariat of the ACS in Port of Spain to address the public debt burden in the Caribbean region.
The meeting draws from the study on debt burden and physical sustainability in the Caribbean region. It seeks to examine the debt situation in Caribbean countries, exchange experiences among countries in the sub-region related to the subject of debt relief, and disseminate information about this reality among countries and integration organizations in Latin American countries.
In the first part of the paper, we rely on debt burden indicators. We use gross public debt to GDP ratio obtained from the IMF World Economic Outlook for the period 1999-2011. We include here 14 countries of the Caribbean region. No? For some analysis, we exclude Haiti because Haiti has already got sizable debt relief. So we for some analysis, we're going to consider only 13 countries.
The meeting, he says, aims to reach conclusions and provide recommendations with operational use for affected countries, as well as strategic information for member states.
The idea here is to highlight two characteristics of the Caribbean countries that we are covering here. First, that most of them are classified in terms of GDP per capita by the World Bank as upper middle income or lower middle or even high income level. So there are it's only Haiti is in the category of a low income per capita. Okay, so that has excluded the Caribbean, most of the Caribbean countries from those initiatives of debt relief that apply to poor countries.
Other topics that were discussed includes physical adjustment and economic growth from a regional perspective, with presentations from CARICOM, Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. The season will conclude with the same topic offered from the perspective of the multilateral organizations, such as the Latin American and Caribbean Economic System. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
The current political situation in the region came up for discussion this week as the Honorable Buhindranath Tiwari, Minister of Planning and Sustainable Development, participated in the regular meeting of the Inter-American Council for Integral Development of the Organization of American States.
The regular meeting of the Inter-American Council for Integral Development of the OAS, CIDI, was held in the Simon Bolivar Hall of the Hemispheric Institution in Washington, D.C. Secretary General of the OAS, Jose Miguel Insulza, who received Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of Planning and Sustainable Development, Dr. the Honorable Buhindranath Tiwari, discussed with the minister the current political situation in the region, as well as issues to be involved in the 8 Americas Competitiveness Forum. That forum will be held between October 8 and 10th in Trinidad and Tobago. Present at the meeting were the OAS Assistant Secretary General Albert Ramdin, the permanent representative of Trinidad and Tobago to the organization, Neil Parson, and the director of the Department of Economic and Social Development of the OAS, Mercy Roberts. The Inter-American Council for Integral Development, CD, was established on January 29, 1996. It has decision-making authority in matters related to Partnership for Development. Felicia Wilson-Moore, News 4.
Young people will now have a chance for the very first time to participate in the NASA International Internship Program alongside some of the best in the world. This as the Ministry of Science and Technology launched the NASA International Program.
The opportunity comes as a result of an agreement between NEHIST and NASA. The final determination as to the candidate selection will be done by NASA after an intense shortlisting by NEHIST. Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Rupert Griffith explained that running from June 1st to August 16th, 2014, the internship experience will focus on research projects in 12 areas.
Trinidad and Tobago has quite a number of its citizens succeeded within the NASA realm and generally within the international science and technology field. Indeed, even though each one of these persons is enormously talented. There is also a community of people who help all these individuals to succeed in their various programs. Dedicated teachers who believed in them and challenged them to do even more. Loving parents, and of course, a large number of mentors.
The 2012 agreement between NESE and NASA, he says, provides us with access to world-class researchers in a range of disciplines. He notes that our young people will work side by side with the US and other foreign interns under a NASA mentor. He hails it as a wonderful and unparalleled opportunity. In order to continue achieving our development agenda of prosperity for all, based on innovation, competitiveness, and environmental sustainability, he says, we need to increase our pool of scientists, engineers, inventors, and technologists.
Therefore, one of the reasons we are here today is to mark one such new beginning, one aimed at assisting some of the Trinidad and Tobago brightest young people in enhancing their knowledge of STEM, and that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Participation in the internship program will be of immense benefit to the prospective interns in terms of the priceless hands-on experience and knowledge in unique scientific research field which can potentially lead into specialized, cutting-edge career paths.
Additionally, the internship program will be of immense value to Trinidad and Tobago as a whole. The minister says this is one of the initiatives intended to ensure a steady stream of skilled and qualified people in the science system. The National System of Innovation is the powerhouse that at once enables them to compete favorably with other countries and will help to successfully fight off economic and social developmental challenges.
These students will return home and become the champions in the science, technology, innovation development in Trinidad and Tobago.
Dr. Griffith says young people can make all kinds of incredible innovations, as is evident from the recently concluded Prime Minister Awards of Scientific Ingenuity. Some of them have the potential to be fully operational and become commercialized. A number of plans are being implemented by the Ministry of Science and Technology and its agencies during this year. The Minister of Science and Technology says they are aggressively pursuing the creation of a science and technology policy, and the Science City project at Indian Walk is on track. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
Sport news is next. Stay with us. To sport news now, the Honourable Anil Roberts, Minister of Sport, extends condolences to the family of Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force footballer Kevin Carter on his sudden passing this morning at the age of 30. According to the TNT Football Association, Carter suffered a massive heart attack while at training with his club and never recovered. Minister Roberts said, quote, Kevon was a strong young man who gave 10 years dedicated service to the national team from under 23 to senior level, playing most recently in the 2013 CONCACAF Gold Cup. It is extremely disheartening to hear this news, but I hope it serves as a wake-up call to all of us to pay closer attention to our health and wellness. When death comes so suddenly, it is always shocking and difficult to understand, but I hope Kevon's family and friends will cherish the time he spent with them. End quote. Kevon began his footballing career at Mokarapu Senior Comprehensive and went on to star with the TNT Pro League outfit Defence Force as a striker and in the Trinidad and Tobago midfield. He earned 31 caps with the national team and scored 5 goals. More details about Kevon's passing and other arrangements can be obtained from the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. More news after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The San Fernando Women in Action Committee held its first carnival-related charity event to promote its recycling and anti-bullying campaign. This was done in the form of a concert at the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts.
Holding to its mandate of charting new courses to empower others, the San Fernando Women in Action Committee is seeking to promote some of its initiatives undertaken this year. The group is just over 1 year old but has been using much of its time to help those less fortunate and promote positive and healthy living, as evident in its efforts of collecting canned food items for children's homes in the South, promoting an anti-bullying campaign, and launching a recycling drive for better waste disposal. Addressing the carnival event at Sapa, the Honorable Carlin C. Prasad Bechan, Minister of Public Administration, applauded the San Fernando Women in Action Committee for its efforts.
San Fernando Women in Action, let's hear it for them. Right, so with all these cans that we are collecting here, we are going to be distributing them to homes. The second theme that we have for this evening is the anti-bullying theme. So each artist is going to be promoting anti-bullying. I want you to give them support when they come up here, especially those artists that are focused on that. The third is that we are launching our recycling. You know what happened in the Betham, the landfill, the burning of the landfill, and now we must take it upon ourselves. San Fernando, we want to start what is called the Green Carnival. Let's make our carnival green as we make our city green.
Calling for support of the initiatives, Minister C. Prasad Bechan stated that these efforts will continue after the carnival season.
Please support us this evening, San Fernandians, as we start this project. We will take these projects further after Carnival into the schools in San Fernando.
In a latter interview, the Honourable Minister spoke of the importance of partnering with NGOs. She also spoke of the uniqueness of Mass in the southern city.
First of all, let me just say a special thank you to the San Fernando Women in Action. As a Member of Parliament, I always feel it's important that we partner with NGOs to facilitate the work of our communities. I believe very strongly in, community development and getting back our communities together. San Fernando is a unique community, and that's why I said the carnival is unique. If you look at the detail, we visited a number of mass camps over the last 2 weeks and the Panyards, and you will see the uniqueness of the creativity of the art form, and a lot of that is still happening in San Fernando.
Felicia Wilson, More News 4.
And that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I am Nikolai Edwards. Thank you for joining us, and do have a safe and enjoyable Carnival 2014.